The Reform and Redesign Committee is going to be our focus today. It's a new committee, and it's different than any we've found across the nation. Instead of looking at the vertical alignment in government where you have departments and operations, we're looking at cross-functionality. For example, payroll crosses all functions. Procurement crosses all functions. And most recently, we have started reforming the Office of Enterprise Technology. Technology crosses all functions. And because we're looking at government differently, we believe through this committee we can have broader discussions about how to make government more efficient and continually look for ways to improve government operations, not just at the state level, but working with school districts, counties, and local governments. We made a lot of progress, as I said, when we decided to consolidate the OET. That was something that was actually started during the Pawlenty administration and congealed and moved forward under the Dayton administration. I'm actually part of a group that's monitoring its progress. And we're finding some successes. There are a few roadblocks. We keep moving through those. It is the nature of government to get bogged down. And when we have good ideas, we have to keep encouraging and sometimes pushing them forward. What we hope to do is capture the savings from consolidating, give benefit to the taxpayer, and reinvest in the next place that needs improvement. Some of the things the committee has discussed, for example, health and human services systems. How do we undo necessary duplicate data entry? How do we revert or move from paper forms to electronic self-entry for clients of health and human services so that we don't have to have staff doing all of that work? Ted Daly, my neighbor down the hall, actually introduced and passed a benchmarking study that would consolidate some of those administrative functions. Payroll, procurement. So we look at best practices around the country. We set a benchmark for where Minnesota should be, and from that information, we look at the next best place to save the taxpayers' money. So that study should be completed by October, and when we come back next January, we can get right to work on the next best thing for Minnesota. And why did we develop this committee? Budgets are tight. Everybody knows that. Our economy, while it's recovering, is coming back slowly, and so we're not going to have flush revenues anytime soon, and it would be irresponsible for us to not take this opportunity to change the way government works. But also our demographics are changing. We are having unprecedented retirements in the state of Minnesota. And so while we are losing some of that institutional knowledge, we can capture it with technology. We can change our processes, things that people have been doing for years. They can use that knowledge and suggest how we can do it better. So that when we're through this process, Minnesota will have smaller, effective, efficient government that is technologically ready for the next 20 years in service to the state of Minnesota.